Good morning. It's Julie Withrow with How Smart Women Succeed, and it is Straight Talk Tuesday. So Straight Talk Tuesdays are all about the strategy in your business. And today, like I do every Tuesday, I'm going to be sharing a strategy idea to help you really break through the six-figure mark in your business. And the reason I help women break through the six-figure mark, I want to really talk about this for a few minutes today, because there's a lot of hype online about, making six figures and seven figures and yada yada and all this stuff. And the reason it's important to me to support women in making six figures in their business is because it gives you a level of financial freedom that makes life much easier. Because when you have financial freedom, you have a lot more freedom to do the things you want to do, to have the things you want to have, to create the experiences you want to create. And when you have financial freedom, it also allows you to create time freedom if it's done well. You can also have a lot of financial freedom, make a lot of money, but have no time, right? And one of the reasons why you started your own business is not so that you can be working 100 hours a week, right? That if you wanted to work that way, you could get a job and go work for somebody else, right? So working for yourself and having financial freedom can also equate to time freedom. And that is why I really love to help women break through that six-figure mark. And when I'm talking about six figures, I also want to be specific about that. Just getting over the $100,000 mark in earnings is a huge milestone. And it also creates a lot of financial freedom, more so obviously than if you're making $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year. Once you get over that $100,000 mark, it really makes a meaningful difference. Not only is it a psychological leap, but there's just a feeling that comes with it, a feeling of, having a lot of abundance around money that is very powerful. So I really, when I talk about the fact that I love to help women make their first six figures in their own business, I'm really talking about breaking through the $100,000 mark. If you want to go to $200,000, $500,000, $900,000, more power to you, rock on. But for starters, I just want to help more women get over that $100,000 mark, because there are not enough people, honestly, making that much money, and let alone women. And so I really want to empower women to make the kind of money that can change their lives and the lives of their families. So now that I've said that, I want to talk a little bit about strategy. Hi, Lindsay. So today's strategy talk is about accountability, okay? And there are a lot of ways to create accountability in your business. But before I go there, why is accountability important? Well, I think we all know what accountability means. It basically means that you're kind of being held responsible for doing what you say you're going to do, for what you intend to do, and for continually moving forward on your goals, right? You need accountability in your business, particularly when you're a solopreneur. That's when you really feel it the most. When you're just working alone in your business and you don't have, other employees or a virtual assistant or anybody else really working with you in your business, when it's just you, having accountability is so important. And we really need to create that accountability to help us stay on course for days where, all of our fears come up, or all of our insecurities come up, or, we just are having a hard time, taking the next step that we need to take for whatever reason. So some ways that you can create accountability are just with yourself, for starters, right? And there's this concept of layered accountability that's kind of growing in popularity. So I'll talk about different layers, but the base layer is you, okay? Foundationally, how can you be more accountable to yourself? Well, the ways that you can do that are Actually, quite simple. Write down your goals and intentions for the day and for your week, okay? You don't have to go long scale with this stuff. I think it's important to have a long scale goal or vision or whatever you want to call it. Like that's my vision board, whoops, behind me right there. Those are my longer term goals. They're my longer term vision. But, you know, do I say, so for example, one of the things on there is that I want to start a podcast, right? So do I sit down with my daily goal and say, today I'm going to start a podcast? No, okay, that's not something I can accomplish in a day. I need to create content. I need to record the content. I need to get it onto iTunes, right? Like I can't do that in one day. But what I could do is chunk that down. And maybe my first day is I'm going to spend an hour today brainstorming, content ideas, topics for my podcast, right? Or another thing could be, I'm going to spend an hour today figuring out how to get my podcast onto iTunes, right? So make sure that when you're being accountable to yourself, part of the reason we can fall down that way is that we set these big, huge goals that aren't achievable in the time we've given them. And so they're overwhelming. And then when we get overwhelmed, we shut down, right? So first level of accountability is just to yourself. Make sure you set very small, realistic goals on a weekly basis for starters, and then become even more focused and do it on a daily basis. And I'm talking about just a very few, like no more than 3 priorities for the week and for each day. And if you just start with that level of accountability to yourself, you'll also see your productivity really take off. And part of the way you see that is because when you're writing it down, okay, and you have this list of priorities, so do that first thing in the morning or the night before is even better. Like for the week, do it on Sunday evening. If you wait till Monday, sometimes it's kind of hard to get your momentum for Monday then. Monday kind of becomes a wash. So I always like to plan my week in advance. You could even do it on Friday before you finish for the day. But, plan out just your 3 priorities, in advance for the week and then on each day. And then as you complete them at the end of the day or the end of the week, go in and check them off. And it improves your productivity, not just because you're getting more done, but because you're getting more done, right? Some of this is just in our heads. Like we tend to be very hard on ourselves and not see our progress, right? So if you have your priorities written down and you're checking off that you've accomplished them, you'll naturally feel more productive, know you're more productive, and then you will become more productive. So first level of accountability, right, is just to go back and summarize this, is make sure that you're being accountable to yourself and setting weekly and daily priorities that are achievable. Just writing them down, having them tangibly written somewhere, and I mean hand write them. You can also put reminders in your calendar, but there's something about writing things down by hand, like in your daily planner, in a journal, right? Make sure you write this stuff down and then check it off as you do it. So that's the first level of accountability. In fact, they say, there's a stat that people who write down their goals, which we could also say same thing about people who write down their daily priorities, which are just micro goals, right? They are like some crazy amount, more likely to achieve their goals just because they wrote them down, because it's personal accountability. So that's the base layer of accountability. The next layer is to have accountability from other people, okay? And a great way to do that is to have just an accountability buddy. Pick somebody who is going after their goals and dreams too, somebody who is working towards something and would also love to have some accountability, and pair up. And set like one day a week where you check in with each other. And I would really encourage you to just do it on a phone call. Keep it very brief, 15 to 20 minutes max, 10 minutes per person, and just talk about, okay, here's what I set out to do since our last call. Here's what I got done. Then let's celebrate that. Got to reward your accomplishments. Then here's what I didn't get done, and here's where I could use some support around that. And that can be the basis of your accountability buddy touch point. It's not about going to coffee for an hour or two. It's not about commiserating, right? It's about accountability. So make it about that, right? Here's what I said I was going to do since last week. Here's what I got done. Super excited about it. Be proud of each other. Here's what I didn't get done. Here's why, and here's how I can ask for help around that. And if you just structure your accountability buddies stuff in that way and don't let it stretch into a bunch of time, keep it very tight, very specific. If it's your friend, you want to go have coffee, do that separately, right? But for an accountability buddy, that is a great way to do it, just 20 minutes a week. And that level of accountability, this is the second layer, is huge. I can speak from experience of having an accountability buddy I don't have one right now because I have something different, which is layer 3. But having an accountability buddy for about a year was huge, because when I knew I needed to get on the call with her tomorrow to do our touch base accountability call, if I didn't have my stuff done, you better believe like I hopped too. I didn't want to get on the phone with her and kind of have to eat crow because I didn't get done what I said I was going to. So that is a great second level of accountability. The third level of accountability is to join a mastermind group. I created a mastermind group about, how long has it been now? 4 months ago or so. I reached out to some people who I really respected, who I knew had thriving businesses, who also wanted to grow their businesses just like I did. I reached out to about 8 people and got really positive response from pretty much everybody. Some people were too busy to do it. We came up with a core group of about 5 of us now. I think there were 6 initially. There's 5 of us now, and we meet every week in a mastermind. I, for the most part, facilitate the mastermind. I'm kind of the leader of it, just to make sure that we have ground rules. We're following them. We follow our structured hour call, that we're on track. But we rotate hosting responsibilities. So people volunteer to host each week just to make sure that we honor our time commitments and everybody gets done what they need to. We have 2 hot seats each call, and each person gets about 20-25 minutes to make an ask of the group, whether that's advice to a problem, brainstorming around an idea. It's kind of fair game. You have your 20-25 minutes to make your ask. And everybody kind of helps out. And it's so key to have that level of accountability, because it's not just accountability, it's also more eyes on your business, more people helping you figure out issues in your business. There's a collaboration that occurs. You give, you take. A mastermind is an awesome way to not just add the third level of accountability, to help you reach your goals and stay on course, but to have more community and connection with other business owners like you. So 4th and final layer, okay? And I've implemented all 4 of these layers at different points. I'm always on the base foundation. I've had an accountability buddy at different times. I don't currently, because I have an amazing mastermind group, right? I could still have an accountability buddy, but my mastermind group is awesome. And I can, shoot any one of them an email and hop on a phone call with them. And it becomes sort of like having a buddy, right? Even outside of our weekly calls, we connect in with each other and help each other out. That part is awesome. But the 4th level of accountability, honestly, is one-on-one coaching, okay? And, you can't do that for free usually. You're generally gonna have to pay for it. But when you find the right coach who is dedicated to you in a one-on-one format, it is extremely powerful. And I have invested in probably 4 one-on-one coaches, for myself at different periods in my business, right? And to help me with different things. And I just can't say enough about it. I will also admit, though I'm not that proud of it, that I have spent tens of thousands of dollars on training and support for my business and coaching of various kinds. Most of that was group coaching programs, right? Or online courses that I bought, self-directed things. And even for me, and I'm a pretty, accountable person, I understand how accountability works. I find it far too easy to get lost in online courses and group programs. And I'm not knocking them at all. If you are the kind of person who is that self-directed and can really make it through the material without a lot of outside accountability, like, you're my hero, because I am really not that person. I need more connection, accountability. So for me, one thing I learned was the money that I had sunk into group programs and online courses, if I had just invested that money into one-on-one coaching, I would have had such better results quicker. Now that's true for me, okay? I need that level of accountability, because I can really push hard if I have somebody in my court. It makes all the difference. And to have somebody to bounce off of, right? I mean, I have an assistant, but I'm very much a solopreneur. I don't have a big team or anything yet. So to have a coach who I meet with every week forces me to get out of working in my business to elevating and working on it, to working on it from a strategic level, right? Somebody who's holding space for me to work through my fears and doubts, someone who's holding me accountable to keep moving forward, helping me break down the obstacles as they occur. It's super duper powerful stuff. So I'm not just saying that I am a coach. I'm saying it because I'm someone who has invested in one-on-one coaching. I've tried lots of other things. And one-on-one coaching, for me, dollar for dollar, it's more expensive. There's no doubt about it, but the results are accelerated. And for me, it has made a huge difference. And it is a very high level of expert accountability. So to recap, today's strategy is about having accountability, okay? It will help you stay focused. It will help you stay on track. It will help you power through the tough days and the tough weeks, okay? So first layer is just accountability to yourself. Take the time to plan your priorities and write them down, starting on a weekly basis and then on a daily basis. And then review at the end of the day and make sure you check off what you got done, kind of review, start again tomorrow, start again the next week, but do this consistent practice, okay? Be more accountable to yourself just by writing things down, and you're far more likely to reach your goals, okay? So start there. Next level is find an accountability buddy. It's totally free. You can just find somebody, a friend. Like I said, don't make it like a friend session when you do your accountability calls. Make sure you keep it about accountability. Maybe there's someone you're in a Facebook group with who you really respect or admire. Ask them, okay? Maybe you've met somebody in a networking group locally, offline, that you'd love to be an accountability partner with. Reach out, okay? Ask for support. Most people love this concept. They'll really appreciate you asking them to do it. Even if they can't do it, they'll be flattered. Ask the next person, but find an accountability buddy. That's layer 2. Layer 3 is a mastermind. There are paid masterminds. There are free masterminds. But now you're getting group accountability, and you're also getting connection and collaboration with other people who are also going after their goals. It's very powerful stuff. Fourth layer is one-on-one coaching, and really having that expert support to help you reach your goals, help you stay on track. Sorry, that's my alerts. Help you stay on track and keep you focused, help you break through obstacles as they come up, and keep you moving towards your goals consistently. So that's the name of the game, accountability. If you have questions about this or about any of the strategies that I mentioned around accountability, make sure you pop them in the comment box. Thanks for being here. I'll be back again next Tuesday for Straight Talk Tuesday, so I hope to see you then. Bye-bye.